Hold on, let's see what I can do. Yeah, I know. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. I just started my live stream now, Jordan Go. Sadly, I can't. Sadly, you do a live stream on your Y speaker, you don't get a shout out box. Like you see the shout out box that shows up, no shout out box. So, if you want to know, for anyone that was watching the first live stream while I was talking about, so the first live stream, it goes, "Hey Jordan, great to see you're live. Thank you." Anyway, another thing which you all know, if you are filming from your Y speaker, I don't care what kind of Y speaker it is, sadly, there will be no shout out box. So if you're doing a live stream from your Y speaker through the Euro tool, there'll be no shout out box. I mean, it will say it's on, but it won't show up. The only way you can see your shout out box is if you do a live stream for your Wise, for your web shooter, for your Reckoner, for the Euro website. No, I can't say I ever watched Ben 10. I mean, I've heard of Ben 10, but I never watched it, to be honest with you. So I can't give you, I don't really know I don't really know what I think about Ben 10 because I never watched it. But I guess it's all right. Anyway, for all you folks that came on my first live stream and you're like, what's she talking about? You can't see the shout out box. Well, it goes, "Hi Jordan Long. I was asking for your address so I can send you free things. And you were able to get them. Get them. Give me that. Yes or no?" First off, I don't know if I give out my milling address to you or my sending name. I don't really know you that well. Now, if I knew you and we were friends, then maybe I trust you, but I don't really know you that well. You just like showed up on one of my films saying that, oh, you got it eBay and you want to get all these things off of eBay, but I don't know you, so I don't know if I could trust you with it or not. And then would say I do give it to you, and then you do give me things you didn't want anymore. And then my mother asked me, "Well, where are you getting all these things from this fellow on Euro or on eBay or whatever?" And I say, "I don't know. He just showed up on a live stream in a shout out box and started asking me if I wanted whatever he had. So I don't know. I don't know. You know, if we got to know each other and we talked, I don't know, then maybe I trust you and then we could go from there. But I don't know you because the first time we ever talked." It says, "You know, it's not bullshitting you. I do like your films and I truly want to give you some new dolls." I don't have a P.O. box, to tell you the truth. Um, but I will give the mailing out to you. If I, now I'm going to trust you with this, you know, because I've had talks many times. So you shouldn't give your mailing out to anyone. You know, you can't trust everybody. You know what they might be up to. So I don't know. Now, what kind of dolls do you have? It says I sell toys from all over businesses, eBay. I even got some weird ones only on likenesses. They yield for only Now then says they yielded it for it. He goes, oh, I sell toys all the time on my side business on eBay, and then I send it to newcomers, and only on likenesses they yield for it. Yeah, I know, and I wouldn't, and see, sadly, I wouldn't be yielding for it. Um, I don't know. Hmm, I don't know. First thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have any Rainbow Bright dolls? You know, like Tickle Me Pink, Moon Glow, Stormy, you know, things like that. Merkwell Dismal, you got folks like that. It says, what your thoughts on folks who are sending your fairway and saying it's weak? It's like, what is your thoughts on folks who like are spamming your fairway and saying it's weird? You mean how I seek your fairway, I think you're a good fellow. Then I think you're a good man. Well, thank you. Well, tell you the truth, Jordan goes, folks out there who think that well, you can't make everyone happy. Put it that way. Not everyone's going to like your work. And sadly, there are going to be folks in this world who will not like what you do. They will not like your work, and they will not like you. So it just comes with being on the it just comes with being on the interweb, sadly. And you always know there's also folks out there that are always up to no good and are always willing, and sadly sometimes will take the upper hand on folks. So, and this is so small. That is an M. Yeah, it's an M. It's an M. Yeah. So I don't know, and I know I'm going to most likely get in a bind for doing this later. When they ask them about all this shit coming to the house and saying, "Oh, now you're giving your mailing out to folks, and your wire name out to folks, and now someone's going to take the upper hand on you." I'm still working on that. And you also asked, yeah. Then you're yeah, still working on that. Yeah, I'm putting it in right now. See. Yeah, just make me wish I wasn't doing this. I'm putting it in. I hope you're trustworthy. I'm just making sure I'm getting it all right. It was all written small. Or yeah, it's all because on my name sheet's all written small. I got it. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna get in a buyer and say, "Oh, now you're giving it out to folks you don't know." There we go. All right. It goes. Folks who talk drag dolls. Drag. I don't know. It said about who. It goes. Someone got themselves forbidden since they were putting films about someone who lies. Yeah, I don't really think that's right. That folks like to troll and bully and pick on folks on the interwebs. It's not right. Hell, it's not. It's wrong both on and off the interweb. Yeah, I know I shouldn't do that shit. Let me double and drop it. Oh, I'll just take it off. Yeah, that should be long enough for someone to, there. Then it goes, I didn't lie about anyone. And now we're going to get, someone's going to get forbidden off of my fairway. All right. So I just want to say that hope I can trust him or her. So some trolls coming on here saying, "Oh, Dwayne's lying about so and so." Yeah, lying about who? It said he's. I don't lie about anything. It said what he lie about. This is the king of Euro talking about. Yeah, I don't understand it. No, I don't either. Just someone wants to, start. I want to start something with me. All right. So if you're doing a live stream, so Jordan said if you're doing a live stream and you're doing it through, let's say, your wise speaker, you won't see the shout out box. It's like gone. Like it'll say the shout out box is on, but it's gone. So the only way you can do a shout out box, to see the shout out box, is to do a live stream through your web shooter, through your Retina, through URO's website. If you do a live stream through your wise speaker, through its web shooter, through the URO tool, the shout out box doesn't show up. It does not. It goes, "Hey Jordan, no one's anything to you. You work harder than those dummies who want to come on and leave a word seek to irk you. Forget it. Keep making your films." Yeah, I don't really care about trolls these days. I gave up dealing with the trolls, and that would at least have been, well, since 20 served between FYL, so that would have been at least a long time ago. And some folks just want to start up, you know, they want to start something again. Some newcomer shows up, comes out of the woodwork and say, "Hey, I want to start trolling and bullying Dwayne like they did from 2008 YL to 20s or between FYL though." They're like, "Hey, maybe he'll make a film and he'll pitch and rant and scathe me. And then I'll make another film and someone else will show up and start their shit." No, I'm not doing that. So sorry, all I did is block and hush. That's all I do is block, hush, and forbid. And that's it. I don't watch their films. I don't read what they write on my uploads, live streams, or shorts. I take that off. I hush and lock and forbid them. That's it. And that's the way I deal with trolls and bullies and whatever you want to call them. Everybody's got their own ways of handling them, and that's my way of handling it. It goes, yeah, at first you would think that, see, all right, it said, yeah, I don't really care about the haters or the trolls. I mean, I forgive the haters and the trolls for what they say and what they do, but I really want nothing to do with them beyond that. Because if you start, I don't know, you start making films, I mean, you do got the right to stand up for yourself, but as soon as you start doing that, you put yourself out there to get flagged, you're a bully. Then the bully or the troll, wants you to put yourself in a bind so they can get more of their friends to start up their shit. and no thank you. So I'm going to go on to something else now. So many years ago, and I'm still lucky that this never happened to me anymore. So this is back around 2020 YL. I'm on Euro. I'm making my live stream. And this was back when the whole world had COVID. Hell, COVID's still a thing. This is when it was first starting. And I'm on there. I'm bringing on all my doll friends. Yeah, because I'm a doll. Jordan goes, my friends are dolls, so whatever. So I'm bringing them on, having a good old time. And then it tells me, you cannot do this on your live stream. It's only you went against the followership oversight. But since it's only a warning, you got your good standing. And I'm like, yeah. And folks will say, oh, it was that you wrote tool. No, there was no way it was some tool that made that call. Someone must have been on my live stream that day, then flagged it, and then someone goes, oh, I don't think this is right, or whatever. You know? But ever since that day, I was always lucky that I never, you know, because some folks are never lucky. I'm lucky. And I never gotten in a bind with followership oversight or ownership or double right. Yeah, forget about ownership, forget about double right. About fair work, I don't trust fair work. I think fair work is something that's just made to get you in a bind. Because no need how much you may have done to shift the work or what was being said or done in the work. You could say, hey, I scaved the work, I made fun of the work. I shifted what was said, what was done. I did all this shit, and then the owner and double right holder can still say, no, it's still my work. So no, I don't trust fair work. And I just leave all that shit alone, you know, because that's one set of euro I've never gotten a bind with ownership and double right. And I don't really care about my ownership or my double right. I don't. Now, some folks do and some folks don't. And I'll tell you what, I do not care about it because I don't need to go. I don't need to go because I don't have to go and show it's my work. It would be weird for someone to fake flag my work for double right. And then I'll say, hey, well, is that your bed? We'll say, well, okay, so where's the door at to the room? They'll say, what doors? I'll say, well, you see, they're like two wells. Well, what else would I only know that they wouldn't know? That I got two rooms to my door to my room, one to the hidden room, one to get out. So it's really, they'll say, well, what about where the other dolls are at? And I'm saying not the ones that are in the bins. I'm talking about, things only I would know the answer to. So I don't need to go for any of that. Now, as you know, someone said that someone said, "Oh, Jordan, your films are now low." Well, yesterday somehow my small speaker tool, my web shooter, shifted it to 1. So I had to stretch it back to 100. And that's as loud as it's going to go. So hopefully all my films are not low anymore except for that only one. But then again, however your web shooter films things and how loud it picks up things, it is what it is. There's not much you can do about that. I mean, it's not like the web shooter tool in your wide speaker. And I know someone out there might say, "Oh, Jordan, what kind of wide speaker do you have?" A Motorola Play G with Google Android. Sorry, it's not Apple. It's not an Apple iSpeaker, not with Apple iOS. I know a lot of folks are into the Apple Y speaker and shit. But I'm happy with my Motorola Play G with Google Android. And I think anything that a Anything that Apple iOS can do, Google Android can do as well. The only thing that maybe the only thing that Apple iOS can do that Google Android can't is boot up and start up with the Apple likeness instead of starting up with the starting up with the Think Shield, and then saying the Motorola thing with the Comcast thing. That might be the only unlikeness. But at the end of the day, I think anything that Apple iOS can do, Google Android can do as well. That's just my belief. And I only had a Y speaker since 2023 YL though, so I didn't have one that long. And you might wonder, why am I not filming from it? Because the sound pack was at 86. You don't get no shout out box if you're filming through the web shooter, through your Y speaker for the Euro tool, like you would if you're filming through your web shooter for your for the Euro website. Yeah, the shout box is gone. It says it's on, but it's not there. So it is what it is. So it is what it is. That's how it goes. I don't really know if anyone else is, going to be saying anything else after that. Well, looks like this is everyone. I got 5 folks on, but I don't really think anyone else really has anything to say. I know there's something that some of you folks will most likely ask, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it will be like, you might say, Jordan, how can you still do all these films and not get burned out doing all these? Because I like what I do. I don't get burned out. I did, I still like coming on. I'm always going to come on and make films. I'm not going anywhere. I know some folks come on and then they don't know what to do with their fairways. Either learn or work or home gets in the way, and they go, and they either leave. Some folks choose to become a Euro business friend. Yeah, I want nothing to do with that. Yeah. See, I'm already following followership oversight and ownership and double right law or whatever. I don't need to follow business oversight, business friendship, business ship oversight that keeps shifting all the time. And they got to deal about showing oversight. No, thank you. Then worrying about Google taking enough out for Gabber right sharing their income tool. No, thank you. It's not my goal. And the truth is, I'll never meet the standard anyway. I'll never get enough looking. Won't have enough folks watching. Never meet the standard of it. It goes, hello, Jordan. I do a podcast on looking unknown flying tools and the unearthly. I was wondering if you would like to be sometime and share your thoughts on the unearthly. First off, I don't know how I would even. First off, I don't know how I'd get on a podcast because I don't got the feeds to upload a podcast. So you have to have these feeds that only folks that make podcasts have, and I don't. So I don't know if that would ever work though. But I think it's cool that you're doing a podcast talking about the unearthly things. That's cool, wonderful. I don't think I'll be being on there because I don't have any tools to do a podcast. The only things I can do is upload live streams and shorts, and that's good enough. So let's go look at everything else folks are writing down. Yeah, I already did. Anyone else here? Now I got like 6 folks watching, which I guess is good enough for this live stream. And a lot of folks will say, well, Jordan, why do you do this? Like, what made you want to do it? Well, there are many folks that may have gotten me into doing this or gave me the thought of doing this. But many years ago, there was a fairway called the Community Channel or the Followership Fairway. Natalie Tang from Sutherland. Oh, she no longer does any films anymore, but at one time she did. And then I said, yeah, I can do that too, but instead of being a woman, it'll be a doll. Now, did that mean my films got the same shift out? No. Does that mean I got the same followers and the same folks looking and watching my uploads and live streams and later on shorts? No. But that's where I got my thought of doing my films from. So we're at here. It goes, Jordan, what do you think about the rock breaking fake and Lita folks during the Yield show? You mean talking about how John Cena shifted heel and how it was the right thing to do at the time? Well, I just think that it was, I don't know, I just think it was, I don't know. I mean, pulling back the sheet and showing the inner workings of the wrestling business, well, that's already been done. So now that's already been done. But I think a way of getting more heel heat for him and John Cena, well, good for them, I guess. I don't see anything wrong with it. Hello, Jordan. Cool stream. I gave it a thumb up. Well, thank you for that. So, so when I started this live stream, um, someone was coming on saying that I was lying about this or lying about that, and I blocked him or her, and that's the end of it. You know, it said, so are you going, so you going to hand over the TWF to someone else besides Daniel Bryan? Well, you're talking about Xena, if you're talking about that, when I was talking about that, my godmother Xena owns it along with her husband Cameron, and you know they got Hunter Townley as the force setter, and God Jorah handling as the head inner work follower, and Gil Kim as skill dealings, and Astronema is the leader, the overseer of leadership, and Daniel Bryan is the main overseer. Yeah, but that would be something that my godmother Xena or Xena Pappas and Cameron Corsico would be dealing with. You know. um, I'm sorry for all that cough. I know that getting back sooner or later when a box or whatever things or one box or something show up, I don't know, from eBay or Etsy or whatever, and they ask me, where'd you get these things from, Jordan? Whose wire name did you give out? Can you trust them? You can't trust everyone on the interweb. Some folks are up to no good. Some folks are willing to do sinful and lawful things with, anyone's wire name or anything like that. And I guess that is true. I'll say that someone asked me for it. Well, I was the one that gave it to them, but asking was one thing. And I was saying, well, I mean, I'll get around that board when I'll cross that bridge or go around that bridge when it comes to it. Um, you know, only I don't really think any, only it goes. This small speaker you're working on this film is very funny. The one on your film outside, I can hear you. I can very hear it. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't make it any more louder. I went into my loud settings on my small speaker for my web shooter and it doesn't shift. I can make it to 100 and it doesn't make it unlikeness. That's the way it picks up loudness like, and there's nothing I can do about it. And trust me, I have gone into the settings and I'm going into the settings right now. Look, it'll say why small speaker. I go down here. Ah, it did it again. I had it at 100. It offshoot itself to 1. I had to bring it back to 100 again. So hopefully you're hearing me loud again. I don't know why it does it. The small speaker tool and my web shooter, you know, it just goes, oh, it goes from 100, then it offshoots itself to 1. Then I got to drag it back to 1 again. So yeah, I guess I got to keep dragging it to 100 every time I want to do a film, at least an upload or a live stream. It goes, well, I just shifted it to 100, so hopefully you're hearing me loud enough or loud enough it's going to be. So hopefully it's loud enough now because I just pulled it to 100. Because the dumb thing, the dumb small speaker tool, it did again. Stop pulling it back. See, now it keeps on dragging itself to 1 and I put the 100. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to hit that. Stop it. It just keeps on shifting itself. Every time I get out, it keeps shifting itself. Stop it. It just. There. But it's all it does. I can't run. I can't stop it. It just keeps on going all over this shit. Yeah, that's the way it is. This wise. See, if I don't have it loud enough, it just comes out muffled. That's the way that this wise. This is the way that my web shooter films everything. It films things muffled. That's the way it is. I could have it to 100 and it's still going to film everything that way. It's still going to pick up everything that way. You might hear things loud, but it's going to pick it up muffled. That's how it does it. Yeah, it goes. I'm not. No, it's not even that. It's some wise web shooter, and all web shooters aren't really the greatest. And there's nothing I can do about it. See, right now, if I go in and start playing around with the loudness settings, it's going to go over the stead. So it's just going to go all over the stead. That's what it's going to do. But even if I have it shift to 100, it's still going to come out that muffled way it always has. At least this wedge shooter does. So it goes, what else we got here? Said, yeah, and it's not going to do it. You mean your loudness? Yeah, the loudness for the small speaker in the web shooter. I think that as far as asking me about unknown flying craft and the unearthly, I think it's good to keep an open mind about those things. And even though I do believe in outsiders and folks that live from other worlds, I do believe in ghosts. Don't mean I ever seen them, but I do believe in them though. So there's answer right there. I'm sorry, Lord, I don't understand what you're talking about. Dude, you can't speak. Dude, can you speak right? Is this a stunt? I'm misled. About what? Me choosing English words instead of talking with borrowed words? It's not a stunt, it's not a lark. That's the way I talk. And if you can't handle the way I talk, you can always leave my live stream. Any word that's not an English word is borrowed. I am so misled. It said, don't be mean. I'm not being mean. But if you want to be hushed and locked and forbid from my fairway, then I'll do that. I don't need your shit. Yeah, I don't need Sailor. I don't need Sailor. I don't need Starlight Luna P getting all pissed, getting irked and angered at me because they don't understand English words and don't only understand the borrowed words. Make me feel like I'm dumb. Well, there, hush, lock, and forbid. Get off my fairway. It said Starlight is only wants to talk to men, which means his fairway. It's smooth enough to find out the meaning when you shift your words. Well, then he's going to have to do all the work, not me then. It's not a stunt, it's not a lark, that's the way I talk. It's my goal to speak English with mostly less borrowed words or no borrowed words at all. And if folks can understand that, well, okay, that's on them then. Man, if that knocks me back and I lose one follower out of that, well, it is what it is, sadly then. I just don't know what I just don't know what else to talk about. Oh yeah, why don't folks want to talk about? Yeah, it says, how do you feel about being a self of that? Uh, And it goes, how do you feel about being of that? You mean someone who's doing some kind of stream about me? It said you should know that you choose to work. Well, because the truth is, it's the doll that I'm playing, that I'm show playing as the doll. Okay, my show playing might not be the greatest, and some folks might take it so earnest that they want to get all irked and angered over it, which is sad. But yeah, anyway, Jordan said we're getting way off thing here. So anyway, I didn't think I was going to get a lot of folks coming on my live stream. I had to hush and lock about two, you know, for grounds. And if that somehow, they're like, well, they're like, Jordan, why do you, it goes, it said, she wants to concert with you from what I hear. I guess so. I don't know. I know something else that some folks would most likely ask me. Well, like, why you always Jordan? Why always got to cough all the time or clear your throat in films? I don't know. It happens when I make films, upload shorts, live streams. I don't know. Everybody's got beliefs over it. Some folks say 'cause your room's dusty. Others say 'cause you're shy. Well, if I was, I wouldn't be making films like this though. Other folks say, oh, 'cause you had to drink something before you watched your film, make a film. I don't know. Gypsy Rose, it said Blanchard is on you, Ro. She is a good fellow. Miss Guerra seems awesome. You work dolls to talk. I was wondering he'd be on something called Whack-A-Mole, I guess. Whack Bleachaw, I guess. I don't know. She has his dolls in a unknown way, a good way. That is something you gotta look into. Don't know about who this Gypsy Rose. I don't know who this Roma Rose is. To be earnest with you, I don't know who she is. Could be a stand up, a show player, a wrestler, a songstress. I don't know. But I don't know who she is. Sorry if I don't know. She talks about the Waynes last night on her True show. Well, if she did, she did. I guess. Thanks. I guess. Thank you. I guess. I mean, I do got a lot of folks who do talk about what I do. Most of them tend to be the bullies and the trolls and the haters and say shit. But if I do get someone that says something kind about the work, then hey, that's wonderful, I guess. It's that I seen them back. It's that I seen them in the back. And someone said you were, and that's not true. So that's not true at all. Whatever the haters or trolls or bullies say, they have no truth to it. They can't back any of it up to be true. They gotta make up things to either shame or guilt or to besmirch someone's name. So whatever they're saying about me beyond what I do in my films is all lies. None of it's true unless you hear from my mouth, Jordan, my mouth to your ear about any of it. It goes, oh, I wish I had. Well, it said, do you know Christian West Chandler? Yeah, I've known him. I've seen some of his films. And a lot of folks like to say that what Dwayne does is like what he does. And they like to say, oh, he's guilty of the same things. But no, Dwayne's not guilty of the same deeds or he's guilty of. You know, A lot of folks out there like to say, oh, Dwayne's like him. How was Dwayne like him? I don't know. I think they were just self casting. I think that they didn't know anything about Dwayne, so they didn't make up from things, and they thought, hey, we'll shame him, guilt him. We'll say he's like this Christian Western Chandler fellow. You know, we'll say he's guilty of the same things he's guilty of when it's not true. It says, I miss him. He most likely got even of flaws like the rest of us. I was wondering, many of your films that show up about this fellow I watched to look him out. I don't know. I guess you could put Christian Western Chandler in, or Chris Chan, or whatever, if you want to watch any of his films or learn about him. I mean, it's up to you. But anyway, getting back to the whole thing is, so if any of you folks are watching from your live speaker on the Eurotoll, you're not going to see no shout out box. I don't know why. If you make a live stream on the Eurotoll, no shout out box. Make a live stream on the Euro website, you get a shout out box. I don't know. It goes, I wanted to see as if you were as bad as folks say you were. No, and I'm not. So I'm glad you're not. You go into that. Yeah, I guess you have to go into the Euro studio or whatever the work schedule on the Y speaker and then say set up live stream or set up shout out box. Which you would think they would just give you the shout out box set up on your live streams on the tool, but no, they don't. Right here. This is the wise this is the smartphone or wise speaker. Sorry, it's not a Apple iSpeaker. It's a Motorola Play G with Google Android. Yeah, I got Google Android. And I think that, in my belief, I believe that Google Android can do anything that Apple iOS can do. So, so I believe that. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, tell me one thing I think that one can't do, the other one can't do, is that when you start up iOS, it probably starts up with the Apple thing. But when you start up Google Android, it might start up with ThinkShield, the Evilware Stronghold Probe, followed by whoever your maker was. Mine will be Motorola, so a big M will show up. And then, since what did I do wrong? You ordered Domino's pizza? No, I did not. I did not. I didn't do that at all, Mom. I didn't set nothing up. I didn't buy nothing, didn't call no one, didn't buy anything. It must have been some mistake because I didn't do anything. I didn't. How I missed about watching his films, daily uploads from week come to your own belief. It was broadband and lead of the followers about, about his knowing. About what? about my films and having a lot of folks watch them, without anyone knowing about it. Missed how about watching his films and daily films and came to his own belief, which he didn't brain broadstorm and lead other, and didn't do things of a big watchers without his knowing. But it's all right, I guess. I don't know who that would be, but it doesn't look like it'd be someone that I did. Looks like I gotta end this live stream now. Thank you all for coming on.